Hello, I'm Dr. Teresa A. Smith, Dr. TAS, and welcome to this edition of Talk with TAS. Today, I'm really excited to have someone who's never been on my show appear with me. I've been on his show, but I have never had him on my show. So this is going to be really interesting to see how he responds. So let's see if we can get him in. There he is.
Dr.
There
Taz,
he is.
Dr. Taz, hey, I'm on.
I
Talk
know,
with
I know.
Taz, I'm on
And
here.
I told him, I said, nah, the table's gonna be turned. I've been on his show, but he's never been on my show.
All right,
So,
all right.
you see, now we're gonna I'm gonna play nice though, because I know there's some folks that we know that don't play nice,
Oh,
but I'm
yeah,
gonna play nice, you
yeah,
know.
we know some folks
Oh,
like that.
absolutely. And hi, Blakely. Thank you so much for joining us. But guys,
Yes.
I have the amazing Earl Hall, who is going to be with us and going to share all this wisdom because today Earl released a new book too. It's
Yes,
pub day for
ma'am.
him, so his new book is out. Thank you for putting it out there, minding your business. Those 10 simple insights
Yes,
to business success. And
yes,
you
yes.
know, as a friend of mine years ago used to tell me, Kiss, keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid.
And I have to
Kiss.
remind myself of that, Earl, because
Hmm.
sometimes I just don't be thinking on the simple side. And
Me
guys, you know,
too.
we're going to be fast and furious. I know you do, because that's the reason we're going to have a lot of
Me
fun.
too.
But, you know, when we say that, you know, I think I still have it in my mind from my friend years ago who said that to me, that it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but we can
Mhm,
overcomplicate things sometimes.
mhm,
So the acronym is KISS, but keep it simple, stupid. Stupid ain't a
mhm.
bad thing. It's just got to remind us. Now, we're going to jump right in, but I just want to set the tone a little bit, Matt. You know, guys, Earl has been in this business for basically 2 decades. He's built businesses. He's seen some businesses as well, you know, kind of dwindle. He's been up, he's been down. And so when I was looking at who I wanted to have on at this moment in time, I'm like, it needs to be Earl because Earl can bring something to us that some people don't want to show.
Well,
The reality of what it means to have a business and do that grind day after day at the same time you work in a job. You
yes,
know,
ma'am. Yes,
and
ma'am.
it's tough. It's tough. So let me say hello to Bernice Kemp here. Thank you, Bernice, for joining us. And I'm just going to jump right in.
Yes, ma'am.
Starting something new is often intimidating. And aspiring entrepreneurs, you know, they feel like, okay, can I do this or can I not do it? What are some of the most common fears or hurdles that you see clients face or even yourself? Because you just wrote this book, 10 Simple Insights for Business Success. What are some of those hurdles or fears that you see that folks just can't seem to get around as they're wanting to start their business?
Dr. Taj, the biggest hurdle I have found for most people, and this is 99.9% of people, is
Mhm.
starting. It is just the start. It is, we can open, I can sit here and open up a spreadsheet and I can make plans and I can do this in a Word document. I can make great graphics and da 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 da. Ain't nobody seeing nothing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's like, but the start,
Mhm.
like you have to put it out there. And that is the biggest hurdle that I see most people getting stumped by, is that because we don't know what we don't know, and we don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work. But I'm going to tell you something, Dr.
Mhm.
Shaz. I saw something the other day. I believe it was on Instagram. And I
Mhm.
forget the woman's name, but she said a brand is not built on day one. A brand is built over time.
Yes.
Start messy so you can learn.
Yes.
And yeah,
And I know exactly. I saw, and it was a woman, and that hit me too because we want to. What is the phrase? A pig is still a pig, even if you put
let's
lipstick on it.
stick
We
on it.
want to act like everything is just all great,
Right,
just
right.
great. As
Right. Right.
someone said once when they were going to the Potter's house, I think it was Noah Jones. When you go to the Potter's house, everything's just great, great, great. Well, life ain't great, great, great. When you start in a
Yeah.
business, it ain't great all the time, and
No,
it
no, no.
takes a while for you to even see the fruit of your labor.
Right.
But if you put it out there like everything is great, then the people who would support you may say, "Oh, they don't need my support."
Right. Right.
So as you said, just starting and you got all the spreadsheets and all these different things, but then implementing one thing will help us get going.
Yeah.
Now, from your journey, and I just did the article, a Papio's article on you,
Thank you
and
so much, Kiva.
you are so welcome. It was an honor to do it because that's my other platform, and I want to make sure that we're able to get folks out on multiple platforms because we never know when someone is going to read something or even hear it or watch it, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, things click.
Yeah.
And then that person knows there's someone else out there who has
Hmm.
lived what they're
Yep.
living. And
Hmm.
then, as we say in the church world realm, my living won't be in vain. They'll know that they're not living in vain and
Yeah.
they can succeed also. But, you talked about, we've been talking about your own journey, like in the early stages of the Earl Hall studio, because the studio has always been there. But I know you, and I know you are kind of. I done listened to another interview today too. I know how you can be.
Yeah.
And
Little bougie. Little
Earl don't
bougie.
have no patience, and
Yeah.
he likes all those the wheels, the bells and whistles. Now, if
Bells
you
and
guys
whistles.
look
Love it.
closely, you're gonna see there's a Camaro ball cap in the background because
No, no,
I've
no,
been
no,
looking today.
no,
So,
no, 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 no.
is that
That's a
a
Corvette.
Camaro?
That's
Excuse me.
Corvette.
Oh, please, excuse me.
That's
Please
Corvette
forgive
now.
me.
Come on
Please
now.
forgive
Come
me.
on now. We
Please
don't
forgive
play
me.
with me.
Don't take my Corvette. Don't take my Corvette key from me. I meant it's a Corvette, guys. It was a slip of the tongue, and you see how quickly he
Oh yeah.
no,
No, no,
no,
no,
no.
no, no,
You
no,
see
no,
how
no,
quickly he
no.
corrected me. It's a Corvette, and I know I seen a picture of a Corvette, but I don't want to say it was a red one that I
Oh, it's
seen
red.
around you.
Oh, it's red.
See, I remember,
It's red.
every now and then I have a slip up,
Oh, wait
but
a
you see
minute.
how he corrected me.
Can you
Yes,
see?
I see
Can you
the
see?
red Corvette. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh Lord, I'm telling you, we're having too much fun here. But and all of that to say, Earl is very particular
Mm,
about what he likes, the tools that he works with, but using that as a part of your joint journey. Because I know where you were when I initially met you is not where you are now.
right,
You
right,
have evolved. And sometimes people think, well, if I don't have this lighting or I don't have this or that, I can't even go live because
right.
or I can't record a video to even post because I don't have that. But thinking about now where you are as it relates to the Earl Hall studio and the lessons that you're trying to provide to entrepreneurs, can you share a specific moment when you had to push past your own self-doubt as it related to how you now maneuver in a new space that might be beneficial for our audience?
Sure. The biggest thing that I've had to push through, and this was, I mean, I got to go back a little bit
Mhm.
because things fell apart for me back in February of this year, of 2024. And most people know I ghosted social media. I was not on there. A company, a startup that I was with failed. That means I failed. Means the money that I was making, I was not making anymore. I had to take a step back and I had to do what I needed to do for my family. I had to get a job. I
Yes.
haven't had a job for almost 6 years, 7 years,
Mhm.
right? But I had to swallow my ego, my pride, and everything else. And I leaned back on something that I had done before, which was being a bus operator, which it's a good, I mean, you
Mhm.
make good money,
Mhm.
but I don't want to be a bus operator. But it's
Mhm.
what I knew how to do. And so I went back to doing that. And then coming back in literally, we're just talking, I came back at the end of September. The end of September, I came back.
Mhm.
And it is November 18th,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
And you've seen the progression just since the end of
Mhm.
September because this is what I had to push back past, Dr. Taz. I had to push back on the fact that I felt like I had failed. I had to get over my ego and I had to tell the story that was true. I
Yes.
had to tell the story that was true. And Dr. Taz, when I tell you, and you've probably seen the reaction of people, me telling that story, and those people that know me, like some of the people that run in our circles, me doing a video in a bus operator uniform sitting on a bus stop
Mhm.
was not what you would ever have seen from
Yeah.
Earl. But I knew that that was my story and it was authentic. And the thing that happened, Dr. Taz, people responded to it.
Mhm.
People responded to it. And so many times we think that what we constitute as a slip or a misstep, a failure, a defeat, or whatever, it is just the thing that is going to launch the next thing.
Mhm.
I made a post just a little bit earlier today, and I was talking about going through things. And I told a little story. I said, my pastor 30 years ago said something to me that has stuck with me to this day. I was talking to him, I was 20 something, right?
Mhm.
Early 20s, and I was complaining about my life situation and what I was going through. And he said one word: it's for your making, son. He said one sentence: it's for your making,
Amazing.
son. And we are
Mhm.
made over and over and over again in many different situations in life.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
this is me making over. And so I said in that video on the bus stop, I said, I did it before. I'm going to do it again.
Mhm.
But that was the biggest hurdle, just getting over, okay, I'm in a bus operator uniform, I'm driving a bus, I work all day, I work 10, 12 hours a day, I'm off on Mondays and Fridays, and on those days, I'm just putting stuff out. I put stuff out every day, even though I work a full-time job.
Mhm.
I put stuff out every single day. If I got to do it in my bus operator uniform, doggone it, I'm going to do it in my bus operator uniform. If I'm sitting here inside of Earl Hall studio, I'm going to sit inside of Earl Hall studio and do it. I'm not stopping. Y'all see me. Every post just about my hashtag is grind and don't quit.
It,
That's it.
grind and don't
Yeah.
quit. And Earl, I think that that reflects back to what you said in the article, owning your choices and learning that your setbacks directly, as you said, the pastor said, for your
We're
making.
going to make it.
And we often think that it's a bad reflection on us. What does the Bible say? A man fails 7 times, but you get
Get
back
up.
up again. I mean, come on. I mean, to me, but I understand because we be in the flesh.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if everything is always good, then
Mm-hmm.
you need to question yourself because you're not living in a real world because it wasn't always good for Jesus. So why is it going to be good for you? We take the knocks, we fall down, and we get back up again. And I think that is so important that you were willing to share with the
Mm-hmm.
audience, the world, because it's my audience, other people's
Yeah.
audiences, what was going on and how you then bounce back. I got to do
Got
my
to do
own little shameless
the
plug
bounce
now.
back. Got to do the bounce
You
back.
had to do the bounce back because the bounce back is so many different things. And we're like that basketball, we bouncing back all, thank you so much, Earl. We bouncing back every day. And if you're not, you still need to check yourself because every day there's something that's challenging us. Now, I need to do a reset real quick and say hello to some folks that have
Yes,
joined
ma'am.
us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Thank you, D. Sherman. Thank you for joining us. If I said it before, thank you again. Jesse Blackman, 23. Um, I've got Shanazella, aka Logan, on here. Miss Jews has joined us also. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. But again, and I've got Wimmer's like Mike for joining us right now. This is real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Earl Hall Show is coming back in 2025. What inspired you to bring the show
Coming
back?
back in December. It's coming back in December.
Oh, excuse me. The Earl Hall Show is coming
Yeah,
back, guys.
it's
Y'all heard it here first in
y'all heard it here first.
2024. And what inspired you to bring it back? And what are you envisioning this time? Because you have evolved. So
Yes,
what is the focus this time?
everything is centered literally around this book. Mind your
Mhm.
business. 10 simple insights, right? The Earl Hall Show is going to be interviewing people like you and looking at your insights that you have, the simple stuff, the hard stuff, the challenging stuff that you're going through, and some insightful questions that I'm going to be asking every guest. Just FYI, I've already done 3 interviews for the Earl Hall Show already,
Wow.
right? I've got some more lined up already coming next week, the week after. So we're going to be this is why I'm launching it in December as a kind of a
Mhm.
preamble to when I'll say the official start comes in
Mhm.
February, right? But it's
Mhm.
like I just can't wait. I want to get this stuff out, start getting it out to the people, and inspiring them with what it is that they want to do on their journeys through sharing the journeys of other entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, speakers, all that kind of stuff, because I think those stories are powerful. The power is in our stories. It's almost like the power isn't in the thing that you do. The power is in your story because that's why you do the thing that you do.
Mhm. The story tells why I do
Hmm.
what I do. And you're right. Hmm, I will butcher something, guys, really quickly. What is it the Bible says that the life is in the tongue? Life and death is in the tongue? It's
Life
in the
and death
tongue.
is in the
So when
power.
but because we're telling a story.
Hmm.
So how we share our story will determine whether we bear good fruit or bad fruit, is what you're saying.
Hmm.
Because it's the
Yes.
story that's bearing our soul and helping people to connect to us. Because again, we're not here on this earth just for ourselves. We're here for other people. Now we
Yeah.
may benefit, but we're here from other people. Now
Definitely.
it seems like you're already sharing a few insights from the book.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, guys, I hope y'all taking notes. Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there for you guys. Hi, Mattiel82. Thank you for joining us because it seems like you throwing out some. Thank you so much, Joanna Tucker, for joining us. It seems like you throwing out some insights from the book, but we better catch it. So y'all
Yeah.
catch the
And that's
replay too.
this is what I know that I know. This is what I know that I know. And the it's going to even evolve from here. It's like I can see the path on
Mhm,
how I need to get to where I'm going to be. I'm a media personality, I'm an author, I'm
mhm,
a video producer,
mhm.
and love every aspect of each of those things. Not being the author so much. I don't like writing. The
Really?
author part, I do not. I love just talking, getting on camera. If someone invites me to speak, I'm gonna come and talk, stuff like that. But But it feels good holding your book. It feels
Yes.
good, holding the pages in there. And just the fact that, I mean, even with the pre-release of the Kindle version that dropped today, I mean, we were a bestseller on Amazon in the pre-release
Yes.
for the book, right? And I was just utterly I was just honored. I was amazed. I was shocked. It was emotional because it's been a minute. It was my first venture back in after being absent for almost a year, and to come back with this strength behind what I'm doing is just it's awe inspiring for me and humbling.
But it, But Earl, it's well deserved. But I got to go back because we got to hear it multiple times. Do you understand why, in less than 6 weeks or right about 6 weeks, you are an Amazon bestseller in the pre-sales? Do you understand why?
It was the promotion and me talking about what it was that I was doing, what it was that I was going to do in the midst of doing it, in the midst of having a full time job, in the
Yes.
midst of sharing the struggle of doing that, writing a book, launching a new show,
Yes.
doing interviews. It's like, okay, all of that
Mhm,
contributed.
mhm. Absolutely, because then what we become is you became human.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That humanity that I write about in different books, it's such a powerful thing
Mhm.
because sometimes we are so removed from those that we are called to serve and help that they can't connect to us. But what you did was you showed your humanity, your humility, and people were like, oh my God, I love this man. I got to support him. I liked him before, but I didn't know. Now I got to make sure I support him.
Mhm.
And that's what those pre-sales were telling you, that by you being vulnerable, if I'll use another word, and being
Yes.
willing to share that, you now are a beacon of hope for other people who are trying to do their
Yeah.
own business. Now they see a way to it. Just like you said, you can see how things need to be laid out now
Mhm.
because you know where you've been, up, you've been down. Now you know where you're going. And as your pastor said, it's for your making.
Yeah.
It's for your making.
Yeah.
So you have that now to share with the rest of us. Now, Earl, who I tell you, one of your one of your messages is about what truly matters. The audience has got to understand what truly matters. And I'll say, Earl and I had a conversation about a week and a half ago, and it really ties right into this because he had done a reel for me, a promo for me, and I was like, oh, just make this one little change or whatever I said, because I liked the first one. And then he gave me a whole different one. And I'm like, well, why did he do that? I'm being very transparent, guys. And then and started talking about it. And then I was like, oh yeah, the audience. Is it that I was looking inward instead of looking outward? And I said, we're going to use this as a test case now and see what the audience likes. Because I have two now. I'm going to put the second one out probably this week. Because I want to see what the audience like. And so that the thing about this message about what truly matters to the audience. We've talked about equipment presentation and other stuff like that. But what strategies would you use to help new entrepreneurs, those who are veteran, or even clients identify and connect with their target audience in an authentic way? Because you've done that. In the last 6 weeks, you come back and you've done it, and you see the momentum that you've picked up. What strategies would you provide to the audience on how to do that?
It's the simplicity of it. I tell you, you may have saw an interview I had earlier today. Someone interviewed me, and no one would have known that this was the camera that I used to do the interview, right? It wasn't I got the fancy smancy one back there, y'all, right? I got that. But the strategy is, and the conversations that I've had with people, you talk one way about how people should start and what they should use simplicity, because I've said for a long time, all you need is a microphone, a camera, and a solution to a problem. And you've got two of those right here, a microphone and a camera, and then you just bring the solution to a problem. And yeah, but that's not what you do. Right? It's not. So now I'm taking away, I'm stripping back, I'm stripping down so that I can authentically show people this is all you need to be able to do what you want to do. And in that, I'm able to become more relatable. I dare say, Teresa, Dr. Taz, you never saw me in a video with my iPhone. You always saw a video of me sitting basically in this studio with my high power microphone, high power camera, my lighting, all da, 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 da. I would have never put something out like I am now putting out, which is just raw. And people respond to that because I think it's like you said, I've become human.
Well, let me level set and say hello to a couple of people here. Let me go back. Jawan, I don't remember if I said hello to you, but I know I had some other folks to come in. Mark or Arthur Shamel, thank you for joining us. And then I'm going to mispronounce it, but I think it's March Kenadal. Thank you for joining us, guys. I butcher everything, but it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate your joining us. But I wanted to shout you out. When you made that statement, I had to think quickly to what my pastor, who was recently utilized, I think it was last month. He was the pastor when I was a little girl. And he made a statement once in the pulpit that I think is applicable here. Because I remember saying to my mother, questioning her about this. He said, do what I say, not what I do. And, I was a precocious little girl. And I said to my mother, I said, if what he is saying is so good, why isn't he doing it? And basically, that's what you just said. What I just said. Now, you're telling us the simple way to get our business off the ground, and you're using the same techniques that you're telling us to use. That gives you more credibility. And street creds, as my younger sister and my nieces would say to me, means everything, Auntie. You got to have street creds, and that is so important. And so, Earl, I got to slowly wrap us up. I just don't know where this time goes to. the new book, those 10 simple, well, he don't call it simple. Well, he does call it simple
Simple insight
insights to
to business
business
success.
success. I know sometimes I overthink it. I don't know why I overthink it. I think I overthink it because I'm going to be like a new person, because I am a new person in this game. I want to do the right thing, and I'm not sure that I'm doing the right thing. So I overthink it. I make it complicated when it shouldn't be complicated. And those 10 insights are there to help us to get out, I'm going to say out of our head,
Mm-hmm.
but whatever that space is. So for those who are like, well, I didn't even know he had a new book, or those who have got the new book and waiting on it to be delivered, or if you're like me, you just got it, it's been downloaded today, you haven't gotten to it. What words of advice would you give to our audience or anyone who's going to listen to the replay about getting to the right, I'm going to call it the right headspace, so that you understand it really is as simple as these 10 insights
Mm-hmm.
that I'm giving you, because they're powerful. What advice would you give to them, Earl?
We spend a lot of time in our own heads telling ourselves a lot of stories and going through a lot of different scenarios, and all of it, I'm sorry, it's BS. All
Mm-hmm.
of it has not happened. You don't know whether it will happen, or it's all imaginary at this point. The only thing that is real is the thing that you actually do. Once you press record or once you hit go live, that is what's real. And then you can see the result. You are not going to see the result. It's like, remember back in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, everybody had to have a business plan. What is a business plan today? What is that?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make, I never saw a business plan that wasn't having the business make money, right?
Yes.
And it's like, and we all know most businesses fail within the first 5 years. So there's
Yes.
something else that's involved here, which is you just being you, being
Mm-hmm.
authentically who it is that you are, and doing the thing that you do to serve the people that you want to serve. Just talk to those people from that authentic space of who it is that you are. Get on Instagram Live. Everybody can go Instagram Live. Everybody can go live on every platform that's out here. Why aren't we going live? Why aren't we making little videos
Mm-hmm.
sitting on a bus stop
Yes.
or walking through Walmart, or leaving
Mm-hmm.
church or going to church in the morning, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, where is it ever it is that you're going? It's like all you have to do is pick this doggone thing up and hit record and make a video that will appeal to people. I'm not talking about make a video that'll appeal to people. I'm talking about make a video and it will appeal to the people it's supposed to appeal to.
Yes. Mike Murdoch, my sheep will know my voice.
My voice.
Absolutely. Earl, you done preached a sermon right there. You done preached a sermon and have given us the roadmap. And your point about who has a business plan now.
Right.
So, Earl, you're going to have to come back. This is not going to be the only time
Anytime.
you're going to
Anytime.
be on my show.
All
This
right.
has been so much
Yes.
fun. I thank you so much for coming on, letting the audience know that it's okay to misstep,
Mm-hmm.
or if they
Mm-hmm.
want to look at, because I don't think of anything as a failure. I
Mm-hmm.
think of it as a learning
Yes,
opportunity.
yes.
It's okay to have learning opportunities, but be real with yourself so that you can learn the lesson. Because I'm real big on this. If you don't learn the lesson, you're going to keep
Lesson.
getting it over and over again. And I know how I look as I'm saying it. If you get to do that over and over again. And, we don't want another groundhog
All
day
day. Right.
over and over. So learn your lesson and be humble,
Yeah.
because nobody knows it all. That's the reason why we're living through this thing called life, and we're networking and we're trying to gather information. Be open to it. Earl, tell them how can they stay in contact with you?
Everywhere it's at Earl Hall Studio. Everywhere it's at Earl Hall Studio. All the platforms.
Well, guys, Earl Hall has been my guest on Talk with TAS. As he said, it's at Earl Hall Studio on all platforms. So make sure you follow him, you reach out to him. And before you take care of anyone else, make sure you take care of yourself first because you are the main thing that has to be taken care of. Let's make that your business
All
plan.
right now,
I'm probably
it is.
talking to myself when I say that. Let's make that your business plan. Then you can achieve some of these other things that you want to achieve. Until next time, guys, bye now. Thank you, Earl.
You're welcome, Dr. Toss.
Bye bye.